Probably a little too honest, but that's who I am. Okay, so it says find the number of terms in the arithmetic sequences. Let's start with A and then we'll do B. Can I get guys maybe focus here, please? Hello? Hello? It's gone, right? Yes? Okay. Can I get someone volunteer to get me started here, please? What's, yeah, go ahead. Yeah. Great. All right, cool. Can you say from memory, please, the general equation for an arithmetic sequence? Lovely. Brad, can you set some numbers in, please?
97 equals 6 plus minus 7.
Great. Bailey, what happens now, please? So 91 equals, and then again, Owen and I were having this discussion when we did the first time. If you want to distribute the 7, you may. If you want to leave it in the bracket and divide through, either one will work out. So I'm just going to call that n minus 1 times 7. All right, Elena, what happens now, please? Okay. I'll take it from here then. So 98 is 7n. Did you get an answer for that? I can't see that in my head. Is it 14? Yeah. 14? Probably not on this one, the word probably ones. Like if it's like, you know what I'm saying? If it says, you know, at an opera, there are 6 people in the first row, like, you know, I'm just worried about that. Okay, letter B. Who are we up to? Elena, can you give me some given information, please, for this one? Yeah. Good. Okay, I'll start with the numbers. We have Tn equals A plus n minus 1d. Okay, great. Okay, can we go here, please? All right, Marissa, go ahead, please. And I'll just do the algebra for you here. That turns to negative 56 equals negative 4n plus 4. Negative 60 equals negative 4n. N equals 15. Someone confirm that for me?
Yeah.
Okay. There's many different ways to do the algebra for this, though, okay? So as long as you get n equals 15, I'm happy. All right. Please note, and this is what who's saying this to me. Chris, I think you were asking me about this for the answer. This is like a term number, so these just have to be integers, right? If you were to get for this, n is equal to 3.8, that's a problem. You can have a and d and tn be totally different, like decimals and fractions, but n has to be an integer, okay? A positive integer for that. Any question on this before I keep going? I did this as my warm-up because we will need this for today's lesson. Emily, all as well? All right, I'm going to steal your textbook because that's okay. And I'm going to do 11 and 14 on the board here. What page is that on? 448 or something?
430.
.430, number 11. Okay. Okay, please put a star beside this one. We did this one on the board, so it sort of hurts me not everyone got this. But this is one that I was guaranteed to be on your test. All right, because I love this question called algebra. It says the 5th term of the geometric sequence is 45. So I'm going to say 25 is equal to 45. I also know that T8 is 360. And then it says find T20. Okay, this is very, very much like the question we did in class. Okay, it's so close. It says this is geometric sequence. Someone, can you give me the general term of geometric sequence, please? What's the equation? Okay, great. That's what the general equation we learned. If you weren't here yesterday, for the 2 gentlemen who weren't, and there might have been more, A is going to be your starting term, R is going to be what you're multiplying by again and again, N is going to be the term number, and Tn is the I at the end of the term. That's okay though. This looks a lot like the pain formula. Okay. If you take a look, it's very similar to that. Okay. All right. So, Hannah, if I were to say to you, which I'm going to right now, T5 equals 45. Can you do something with that, please?
Yeah, you can go 45 equals AR.
Very good. I'm going to call that 45 is equal to AR root 4. Okay. All right, Adria, what's A going to equal now? Not minus 5. Right, because there are times there, right? Okay. So 45 divided by root 4. And this is going to be like a substitution question, but there's exponents, which makes it look messier. Okay, but that's the main idea. Oh, and can you do the same thing with T8 equals 360, please?
So it would be 360.
Yeah.
Is equal to AR and
Yeah.
then 8 minus 1. Or
Right.
360 equals AR to the power 6.
Lovely. Okay, so that's my equation for that. Please be brave and ask if there's a question here on what's happening. I'm hoping we got that far at least. So all I did was, the subscript is the same as n, right? So t to the 5 means 5 is going to be in the exponent. Same thing. T to the 8 means that 8 is going to be in the exponent. All right, Austin, what happens now, please?
You subjugated that.
Good. Go ahead.
360 equals 45 over r is 1 4 times r is 7.
All right. Now this is the part that hopefully, I think this is the part that probably got some people tripped up here. Right? Okay, I'm going to pick on Nicole. Nicole, what is 45 times r to the 7 divided by r to the 4 equal to? Luke, since you were working on your help, what is it then? It's going to be
45
Okay, how'd you get 45r cubed?
r to 7 divided by r to 4 is 3.
Right, because we think our subtraction when you're dividing is subtracting the powers, right? All right, Nicole, next step here is going to be what? To solve for r? Okay, divide by 45. What is that? I can't do that in my head. 8, right? So 8 is equal to r cubed. Okay, Noah, even though you weren't here yesterday, if I say 8 is equal to r cubed, how do you isolate r cubed? Cube root, okay? So we said you can either do it as or 8 to the 1/3 equals r. Both those will give you the same number. Okay, they mean the same thing. All right, Romanowicz, since you were not here yesterday, what is the cube root of 8, please?
Do you want like a decimal?
Nope. You're good, right? 2 times 2 times 2 is 8. Okay. Now we're going to try and leave nice numbers here to make them work. Sorry without using my calculator. It's okay.
No.
It's all good. Okay, Skylar, since I have r equals 2, what do I do from there, please? Good. So we're going to say, guys, please do this. So we're going to say a is equal to 45 over 2 to the 4, which is 45 over 16. Is that right? Can you confirm that? Can I have that break down, or is that it? Okay, so my general equation. What do we have to? Adam, what's my Tn going to be here now? I have a is 45 over 16, and I have r equals 2. So what's the general equation going to be?
45 over 16 times 2.
Very good. Now that is sort of optional, but I like to put that in there because number one, I will ask you on your test for that, I guarantee. Okay, but secondly, when you're finding T20 now, it's a lot easier to solve. Riley, if I want to find T20, what do I do? No, somebody help me here. Somebody help me if I want to find T20. Yeah, go ahead. Yeah, so all that's going to happen is the ends are just going to change to be 20s. So it's going to go T20 equals 45 over 16 times 2 to the 20 minus 1. So that's 45 over 16. Times 2 to the 19. Did anyone do that in their calculator and get an answer?
1,000,000.
Slow, yeah.
524.
Yeah.
288.
544. 524 288.
Yeah.
Okay, can somebody knock on?
No.
219.
Oh, it's 2 to the 19. Okay, so times that by 45 will go to 16. Let's see if you get that.
Oh, wait.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's like 147.
Yeah. A little slower. 147.
4, 5, 6.
Okay, I trust you because you have the calculator and I don't. Got the same. Does that work? Okay, so hint, hint, nudge, nudge, wink, wink. You may see that in your future. Okay, something like that. Okay, at least on your assignment, if not your test, one or the other. Please be brave. Now, as far as for people that wrote down on the board, it was just the algebra got you tripped up. Is that all that happened, right? So just watch for the cube root. And remember, and the reason I showed that 8 to the 1/3, let's say, hint, hint, I gave this something to the 4th or something to the 5th, right? You could use 1/5 or the 5th root on your calculator, either one. Okay? All right, I'm going to move on to 14 because people look to be freaked out by 14. Okay? Yes.
Because if it's a cube and 3D and square and 2D.
I'm not. It has a name. I'm not sure. I don't off the top of my head. I haven't done much for to do stuff lately, so yeah, that's gonna bug me. You know that. Thank you. And it's gonna bug me the whole rest of the class until I do it. 14. It says a certain antibiotic reduces the number of bacteria by 10%. If four doses of antibiotic are taken, what percent of the original bacterial population is left? Oh boy. Oh yeah, this is okay. All right, so here we go. What's the general term going to be for this? If it's going to if it's going to reduce the number of bacteria by 10%, what is R going to be in this case? Okay, so we're going to use this type of equation again here, right? I'm going to say A is going to be 100, because that's your 100%. Actually, this is even ridiculous, yeah. This question is sort of a little tricky here. Okay, I probably wouldn't give you one like this on your test because there's a few things that are confusing about it. What's the R value for this one? If you're dropping 10%, what are we multiplying by each time? 0.9. Okay. Now the problem is with this question that I don't like is because if you say Tn equals equals 100 times 0.1 to the n minus 1, you're actually wrong. Okay? Because it n's the number of doses. If you do 4 doses, what exponent should I have listed in there if I'm doing 4 doses? Just think of real. Don't worry with the equation here. What should how many doses should I? What should my exponent be? 4, right? So is that T5 then? This is confusing for no reason, right? So I would just use this as the equation for that. It doesn't really fit then the general term of the equation then, right? So I would have. It's a little bit more tricky. Do you understand where the 10% drop comes from? Because that's something that you might need to know. So think back to the last question. The question was about Liam and Brad's truck. Remember that one where we're losing 30% each time? It's similar to that. They should hopefully give you the right answer here right now, hopefully. So let me work that out, and that'll hopefully be right. Yeah.
65.6.
Does that work? So that's 65.61%. Okay. B says biologists determine that a person bacterial infection is 5%. So all you would do for part B, which is ridiculous, you just solve this one. And I'm sorry, this was a bad question. Okay. Where n is going to be the number of doses.
You got A right.
You guys got A right? Yeah, I know.
65.
Yeah, and I'm confident I can still get this, but this question is sort of, because of the equations, yeah, the equation is difficult to set up there. But that's how you'd solve that one. I know I can get this question, but for you guys, it's going to be very difficult to get there. Okay, so this is a poorly chosen question for you. Okay, I'm going to move on here if that's okay. So you just solve that with logarithms and that'll be that, okay? The difficulty with this one is you have to think that your first term would be, instead of being your starter case, you'd have taken one dose, right? So that's what the trick is to do now. I'm going to pause the video and then we'll get started with our lesson today. As you can imagine, we're getting a beautiful new equation today.